Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your friend Bats. My name is Jared. That's Carl. And this is Batman Dying City by Chip Zdarsky, Jorge Jimenez, and Tomei Mori. I always feel like I'm saying his name wrong. This is the final volume of the Chip Zdarsky run on Batman. And I know that a lot of people don't like his run, but man, I do. I am a big fan of Chip Zdarsky's work in general. I haven't read any of his indie stuff, but I have read a good chunk of his, was it 2-in-1? Oh, no, I read all his 2-in-1. I read a good chunk of Daredevil. I loved his Spectacular Spider-Man, and I've loved his Batman run, straight up from the top. This is his final volume, and it does feel a bit cut off at the end. So it opens up with the city is kind of healing from all the things that have happened to it recently. And all things considered, things are kind of working out for the on the up and up. Riddler is kind of around doing his Riddler-y stuff with his new technology company. And unfortunately, there's a small crowd of protesters outside of Wayne. You know, they are mad that he's giving away cheap housing and stuff, and they're calling him a communist and what have you. And this was fantastic. This scene, right? Got this runaway car, or not runaway, but this car chase, and then we get introduced to Commander Starr, and he's pretty badass. And then Batman shows up, boom, kicks this dude right through the window, takes the wheel, flips the truck, and they get away, and Commander Starr helps Batman, and then he just caps this dude in the legs. Batman's like, you can't do that in my city, and turns out the mayor, Vandal Savage, doesn't want Batman, and there's the Batman splits, and he's down with Commander Starr. And we lead up into a mystery of how the mayor gets murdered. And basically Batman and Gordon are kind of doing their own detective work, and Bruce goes and checks it all out. The protests are getting bigger. And this is where it kind of got crazy as I was reading this. Bullock calls Batman, and he tells him there's a lot of, he's got something, and it's looking like Jim is the guy who killed the mayor. And Batman turns around and has a gun to him. And Batman just kind of loses it. And I love this. He's just like, a gun? You'd point a gun at me? And he just grabs the gun and just jacks Gordon right in the face. He's like, a gun at me? I just like that scene, and he just falls down and he starts crying. And he's like, and then Batman doesn't really even know what to do about it. And he's just like, ugh. And so when I finished that issue, I'm like, yep, I'm going to need a break. And so I just closed the book and carried on with my day, and had to come back to it after a couple hours of digestion. And we kind of get the backstory of how that leads into this mystery. And Gordon was secretly sleeping with the mayor's wife, because the mayor's wife thought he was sleeping around. So she hires a private detective to follow him. He comes up of nothing, and so she ends up falling for him. And we get this cool shot of if you read Batman Year One, you've recognized this shot, or go through your books and look, and you'll see it's a homage to Gordon feeling bad about cheating on his wife, and it's kind of now flipped, but it's the same shot. It's kind of cool. And so Gordon goes to, him and the mayor's wife are going to run away together. You know, this is what 60-year-old men do. And the wife's not there, and he's confronted by Mayor Decano. They get into a fight, and then the lights go out, and it's all a blur for Jim. And Batman's pretty sure something's up, something's wrong. And so he's got to solve the mystery. Hey, Carl. You dreaming? You good? So Batman's got to solve the mystery. And he realizes that Gordon's glasses were broken and he's got new glasses. And it turns out there's some tech in there, which are like Mad Hatter tech, which leads back to the Riddler setting it all up. And we get this big showdown with Batman and the Riddler, and the Court of Owls are all involved. I forgot to mention that. And it's just like, it feels like a big grand finale. It does. And we find out the Commander Star is actually KG Beast through Riddler's riddles. And this was really cool. So Bruce is on this plane that's going down, and it's going to go down in Gotham. And so he kicks the window out, shoots this plastique on both sides of the windows, or the wings, and then hooks himself up to the plane, and then uses these rifles to blow the wings off with the plastique to bring the plane down into the streets on KJ Beast. He just comes flying out of this plane. Excuse me. And then hits him, boom, and then they turn into a fight. So it's just like, I like went and reread this again, this whole scene. It was really cool. Really liked it. And then him and Commander Star have this like beat down where they have like kind of like this sword fight. Batman cuts off the other hand of him, of KG Beast. And we kind of get this like wrap up of the whole plot, subplots of everything. And then him and Gordon have this like kind of get back together. They're buddies again. And then we kind of get these short stories of this goon and his kid and their problems, and it's okay. It was fun, but that was pretty much the run. And I really liked this book, but it definitely did feel like it was cut short. And I'm guessing it was because Batman Hush has to go in there, or Hush 2. So I want to reread the entire Chip Zdarsky run as a whole, which is funny because I was just saying in my last review that after reading like 6 books in a row, I get kind of tired of reading the same series. But I do want to reread this series as a whole. So those are my thoughts. Definitely love Jorge Jimenez's art, and I think Chip Zdarsky did a great run on Batman. And hopefully he comes back, or, Matt Fraction picks up some of the storylines he had involved in it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.